Hello everybody, welcome to part 2 of LoL Fundamentals. In the last video I talked a little bit about farming, and in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about laning, more specifically laning against an opponent. So if you recall correctly, in the last video the concept of farming is simply getting the last hit on minions in order to gain gold. More gold means more items, which means more damage, which means you can win team fights, push, and win the game, right? So last hitting is very, very important. If you also remember the last detail at the end of that video, you always want to be moving. You never want to stand still because you're just a sitting duck and you're a really easy target to land abilities on. So, in this custom game, I added an intermediate Alistar bot. Alistar is one of the many tanks in the game that has hard CC or crowd control abilities, so he has stuns, knockups, heals, etc. He offers a lot of utility in the bottom lane. And so here, what you'll notice is that I'm sort of just walking around, dancing around these minions, and so as you can see here, Alistar, he's walking up to me and using his abilities, right? He is preventing me from getting the last hit on minions, right? This is what's going to happen in your normal games, because obviously the enemy isn't going to let you free farm. If you notice there, he actually stood in front of a minion so I couldn't click on it to get the last hit, and that's actually a valid strategy. He's denying me from getting gold by using his champion, right? He's doing everything perfectly. He's doing everything that he can to make it so that I don't get CS. If you saw there, and I might even add a replay, I tried to click on that minion right there, but he knocked me back. He knocked me away from that minion, so I couldn't get it. So how do you play against this sort of play style? So there's many ways. This is part of what makes League a really difficult game, especially against people. What you really need to realize is you need to be mindful of what kind of champion you're playing against and what you can do to avoid getting denied CS. So, for example, in that clip I showed you, Alistar used his knockback ability to deny me CS. He can use it for a multitude of reasons, but that is just one reason why he would use his knockback, to prevent me from getting gold. Another reason is so that he can engage on me and just like that, and try to coordinate an attack on me and try and kill me, right? So take note of just how far away Alistar was when he attacked me, right? So there's a really nifty feature in the game where if you press A, it shows you the attack range of your unit. And the same is true for abilities. So for example, Tristana's W, Rocket Jump, it shows me the range in which I can use that ability. So I can use it all the way out here. But my enemy doesn't know that unless they really, really know Tristana. So for example, I know Alistar's W, it's about probably this far, right? It's probably this far from where he's standing. And so and I was right. So what I need to do, and this is an analogy that I learned very early in the game, and it's helped me so much. You, especially as a marksman, you need to imagine every single enemy champion has a circle around them. Every enemy champion has a circle around them, and the purpose of that circle, it acts sort of as a threat. So in other words, I need to sort of estimate where Alistar's circle is, how far his range is, and I need to stay out of that range, right? Because if I go into that circle, if I go into that range, he's gonna be able to CC me like that, use his abilities on me like that. So I want to make sure I maintain this distance away from him, and so that he cannot use his abilities on me. To sort of show you what that kind of looks like, I'm going to keep spamming my A button like this. So this is sort of the idea, right? So every champion has a circle. In Alistar, if he's a good support, he knows very well that he shouldn't walk up to me and get auto-attacked for free like this. So he's staying out of range. I can't attack him from here. I can walk up. He's probably going to walk away. Oh, so I can get an attack on him like this. But I'm still in his circle. So this is a really complicated thing to explain to people who are new to the game, because there are 160 170 champions in the game, and I'm essentially asking you to memorize the danger range of every single champion, and you might not know every single champion's kit, so it's a huge learning curve. And so all I ask of you is that whenever you play games, or whenever you try out new champions, try and see what they can do. Try and mess around with how far you can attack, how far you can use your abilities, and just try to keep a mental note of how far you need to maintain your distance away from your enemy. And so when they walk up like that, you can realize, okay, he's walking up to me. I gotta walk backwards. I need to respect that space, right? I need to respect that circle. And so basically, what I want you to take away from this is to, for example, you can go into a game like this, play against intermediate Alistar bot, and try and get as many last hits as you can. Aim for that 80 mark, and if you can with the intermediate Alistar bot, then I think you're ready to move on to some more complicated stuff. But for now, just try to get 80 CS at the 10-minute mark. I'm at 18 at 11 minutes. Obviously not great, but these are sort of the concepts that we're building right off the bat. These are the main foundations that I want to lay before we get into the more complicated stuff. So yes, sorry for the really long video, but this is just a very, very important concept that needed a lot of time to explain. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the third part.